Okay. So today's topic is we are going to discuss about constructors. What is meant by constructor? Just tell me, like in English, what's the meaning of constructor? See, if you are constructing any building, if you want to build any building, what is the way? Like we have to construct, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what does it mean? Construction must be
Arranging all in a manner,
it's in
systematic
a
manner.
manner, and it is a basic step, initial step. If you want to construct anything, that is the basic step, right? That is the initial step we are having, right? Whenever we are building a building, so the basic step is first of all we have to do foundation, then we have to construct it. Same like whenever we create a class and we are creating an object, at that time the initial step is creating a constructor. Okay, so for example, class, this is a class demo. So inside the demo we are having certain variables are there, certain methods are there. Okay, so if I want to call my methods in the public static void main, what I am creating, I am creating my object. How I am creating my object? With respect to the class name, I am creating demo object equal to new demo. Like this I am creating. Clear? So, whenever you are creating an object, so this is called as a constructor. So, that after new keyword, whatever you are writing, this is called as a constructor. Okay. So, what is the constructor syntax? The syntax of a constructor is its class name and then brackets starting and then ending. So this is called as a constructor. Okay, so what, for example, my class name is test, then what is my constructor name?
Yes,
My test only, because always the constructor name must be the class name. Whatever the class you have used, the same class name must be your constructor name. Okay, so what is the main? Then see, constructor is same like a method. So how the methods can be? See, for example, this is your method. Void m1 is your method, and this is called a set of parameters. But if you take a constructor is also same like method, but instead of method is having one return type, but constructor will not contain any return type. Method contains a method name. Constructor will contains a method name, but always the name must be the class name and set of brackets and starting and ending. See, this is similar, same method and constructor is same, but what is the main difference? Method contains the method contains the
written.
method
And
contains the return type, but constructor will not contain any return type. Method name, any name you can give. You can give your class name, you can give any name, m1, m2, any name you can give. But constructor name always must be the class name. Whatever the class you have defined, the same class name you should give here. That's it. It does not allow any other name. And method also contains set of parameters. Constructor is also contain the set of parameters. Constructor also contains set of parameters. Then method contains static bracket, ending bracket. Inside the method body we are writing the code. Same like constructor is also contains the a method body is there. So inside that body you can define the code and you can define any business logic. Clear everybody about the differences between the method and a constructor? This is one point.
yes,
Yes. Next one, when we call the method after creating of our object, then with the help of an object we are calling the method object dot m1. like that you are calling. Okay, but when the constructor is calling during object creation. During object creation itself, constructor is calling. This is called as constructor. See, this is class demo. So demo. Okay, this is one constructor. So whenever we are creating an object, at that time only the constructor is calling. Okay, but whenever you create an object, after object creation with the help of an object, calling your method, then that is called as method calling. But while creating an object itself, the constructor is calling. Object creation, once the object creation was happened, then with the help of object we can call the method. But constructor is not like that. While creating an object itself, we are going to call our constructor. Clear? The second point, difference between method and a constructor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Next, a method contains how many types of methods we have discussed? Method with return type, method without return type, method with a parameter, method without parameter. Right, four types of methods. Constructor is also having different types of constructors are there, but there is no return type. Constructor does not contain any return type. So a constructor contains only two types of constructors are there. Those are constructor is divided into two types. Okay, one is constructor with parameter and constructor without parameter. Construct, this is constructor. See, please understand. Okay, I am bad with the drawings. Constructor without parameter. This constructor without parameter is also called as a default constructor. Okay, understood? Constructor is divided into how many types? Constructor is
Two
divided
types.
into two types. One is constructor with parameter, another one is constructor without parameter. Constructor without parameter is also
Default
called
cons-
as default constructor.
default
Yeah. Guys, give me 2 minutes. I will be back. Yeah, you understood the types of constructors, everything clear, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So how many types of constructors are there?
Two types.
Types. What are those?
Constructor with parameter,
Hmm.
method without parameter, also default.
Okay. What is the another name of constructor without parameter?
Default.
Default constructor. Okay. What is the main differences between a method and a constructor?
Method will be called after creation of object,
Hmm.
but constructor will be called while object creation only.
Very good. Good. And one more difference.
Constructor will not have any return type, but
Hmm.
method will have return type.
Return type. Good. Next. Next one. So, how to define a constructor? How to define a constructor? Constructor name must be always the
Class name.
class name. Good. So, we have discussed constructor with parameter, constructor without parameter, which is also called as default constructor. So, for example, this is a class. Okay, demo is my class name. So, if you define just a demo, if you define just a demo, okay, just demo like this, then what is this type of constructor? What is this type of constructor? Huh? What type of constructor is this?
Constructor without parameter.
Very good. Constructor without parameter, nothing but a default constructor. Okay, for example, if I define like this, then what type of constructor is this? What type of constructor is this? If I define like that, what type of constructor is this? Huh? Constructor with the parameters. Constructors with the parameters. See, if you does not pass any parameters, then that constructor is called as a default constructor or a constructor with no parameters. If you pass any parameters inside it, same like a method. In method also we are talking like that only, right? Same constructor is also, if you pass any parameters, then this is called as constructor with parameter. Don't think like, why ma'am you have given the demo again here. You have to give like that only, because the if it is a constructor with parameter, constructor without parameter, any type of constructor, the constructor name must be always the class name. That's it. That is the rule. If you give multiple constructors, multiple times you have to give the same name, but here you should pass the different parameters. If you give the same thing again, then you will get duplicate. It will scold you. Already you have defined the default constructor, why you have given like this, it will scold you. So what to do? Whenever you are writing multiple constructor, you should change the parameter. This is constructor with no parameter, constructor with one parameter, constructor with two parameters, like that. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are having a multiple constructors, and I will take one more constructor as well. I will take one more constructor with string as a data type. As a data type. So how to define, how to call these constructors? How to call these constructors?
By creating object.
Object. Whenever we in the public static void main, we have to create an object to it. Okay, for example, I'm creating class name, object name equal to new class name,
Class.
new class name style, like this I'm creating. So which constructor will be called? I told you, like, after new operator, this is called as a constructor. Now which constructor it will call?
Nothing, madam.
Nothing. Please check.
Demo constructor.
Demo constructor, it will call this one a constructor without parameters, it will call, because here also we are not passing any parameter, here also there is no parameter, so the default constructor will be called whenever you create an object. Now I want to call this constructor, a constructor with one parameter. Then what happened? Then how to call it? Then how to call this constructor?
ob.demo
Ah,
int a brackets.
no, you have to give a value here. If you give a
Parameter.
value here, then this constructor will be called. Okay, see, a constructor with having one parameter. So this, it will check all the constructors which is having one parameter. It will match to that one, and then it will execute this constructor. Clear? Now I want to call this constructor. What to do? Pass two arguments, that's it. Pass two arguments, then this constructor will be called. Now I want to call this constructor. Okay, already we are passing two arguments, but why not it will execute this constructor, why it won't execute this one?
Because it has string value.
Whenever we are calling, we are passing two integers which will be matched to this one. But this one it won't call because the data types are different. One is integer and one is string. So if you pass like this, in double quotes, if you pass 25, then it will take. Because string will take anything in a form of double quotes. It will take that one. Okay, or else you pass hello like that. Then this constructor will be called. Okay. Now I want to call all these constructors. All the four constructors I want to call. Then what to do? What to do? Tell.
Without parameter, it will take the default.
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. I want to call four constructors at a time. What to do?
Ma'am, without
We create forecast
Very
for
good. We
objects.
have to create four constructors, meaning like we have to create four objects. When the constructor is calling, whenever we create an object only, it was calling. So if we want to call multiple constructors, what to do? We have to create multiple objects. We have to create multiple objects. This is OB1. You should change the object name. If you did not change, it will scold. Okay, object 2, object 3. So like that you have to create the multiple objects. If you want to call multiple constructors, one is default constructor, this is constructor with one parameter, constructor with two parameter, constructor with two parameters, but another one is string. So like that you have to call. If you want to call multiple constructors, if you want to call like this, you can call. Clear?
Yes,
Clear?
ma'am.
Okay. So now tell me, what is the main use of constructor? By looking at this code, what is the main use of constructor? You should tell. What is the main use of that constructor? By looking these three lines, you can tell. See what I am passing through the parameters. What I am passing. Tell wrong answer also, no problem. What I am passing. We are passing values. So what these values are? These values are substituting in these fields. So what are these fields? These fields are nothing but instance variables, right? So if you want to define, if you want to initialize the variables during the object creation, if you want to initialize the variables during the object creation, whenever the object creation was happen, at the same time If you want to initialize your fields, then we can go for a constructor. Then we can go for a constructor. Clear? Clear everybody? Today you are not responding. Why I don't know. It is not interesting? Yeah, then why no one is responding? Somebody is responding, but their voice is breaking. Hmm? Okay, let see. We will see the code. Hmm. So, what is the constructor name? Constructor name must be always the class name. So, I am creating one constructor with a default constructor. In default constructor, I am writing. Then I am creating an object. B equal to. So now I'm just saving. Who are calling this constructor? By did I am calling with respect to object name like methods? No, right. While creating an object itself, the default constructor will be called. So I am saving this one and I am running it. See, you will get an output in default constructor. Clear? Yes. Now I'm going to create constructor with one parameter. Constructor with one parameter. Okay. So here I was writing, I'm writing like this. Okay. Now I'm just running it. I'm just running it. Okay. Did this constructor was executed from 9 to 12th line? Did that constructor executed?
No, ma'am.
No. Why it was not
No, ma'am.
executed? Because we are not calling that constructor. Because we are not calling that
Yes,
constructor.
ma'am.
If you want to call that constructor, pass a field. Here it was this constructor is matching to only this one. A constructor with no parameter, it is matching to this one only. But this is a constructor, but having one parameter. But here you are not passing, right, so it won't work. So what to do? You have to create one field. You have to pass one field. Now see. Now you got, right? The value of A is 10. You got or you did not
Yes,
got?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, but the default constructor was not executed, right? Because whenever we are creating an object, it was matching to a constructor with only one parameter. So if I want to call multiple constructors, then what to do? We have to create multiple objects. We have to create multiple objects. Okay. So I'm taking one more constructor with a string. Okay. So now if you want to call those things, what you have to create? You have to create multiple objects. First constructor with no parameter, then then constructor with parameter, object 1, object 2. See, if you create the same object, it was showing error like duplicate. Duplicate object we have created like that. So you have to change the object name. So here pass some fields 10. Okay. Next one more. Okay. Object 3. Here pass two fields 2 comma 5. Next one more constructor. Right? 4. So here one is string, one is integer, right? So pass
Yes,
like
ma'am.
this. String comma integer. Okay, just like that. Okay, so like this. Now, now run it. See, in default constructor, the value of a is 10. The addition is 2 comma 5 is 7. The result is hello 5. You got it? Got it?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
the constructor are executing. See here one is string and one is integer. So if you pass like this, what will happen? 10 in double quotes. Anything will happen? See, run it. There is no compile time error. See, run it. 10, comma 5. So in interviews, they will ask. In double quotes, they will give some value, integer value, plus 5 they will give. Then they will ask what is the output. So they will tell 15. 10 plus 5, 15, right? But that is not the answer. If anything we are passing in double quotes, then it won't add. It will concatenate to the next value. So 105 it will give. 10 plus 5. So it was concatenating. Means it is attaching the two fields. Clear? Ah? Very, very
Yes, ma'am.
important question. Next, for example, this is integer. Okay, this is integer. Another one is string. If you give like this, then what will happen? Mismatch, because here it is string and integer, but why, how you are passing you are passing one integer, one string, which is not matching. Okay, it contains two fields, it is also contains two parameters, it contains one string, one integer, it is also contains one integer, one string, but place of order is also it will check. It will check the number of parameters, the type of parameters, and also the place of parameters also it will check. Number of parameters matched. Type of parameters also matched. But place of parameters while calling not matched. String integer. What you are calling? Integer string. So it does not matched. So then we will call a type mismatch error. Okay. So while passing also we have to be very careful. Okay. Now I am saving this one. Now I am running. You got all the outputs. Right. Now, see, for example, if you create one object 1, so what will happen? For object 1, some memory allocation can be done in the heap area. If you create object 2, what will happen? See, so we are having multiple objects. So in the heap area, what happened? The JVM heap area, what happened? So whenever you create multiple objects, ob1, ob2, ob3, ob4, multiple objects, for each and every object for each and every object one separate memory location will be created. Object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4, like this. Some separate memory location can be you added. ob1, OB2, like this. So how many number of objects you have created, that many number of memory allocations can be done. Okay. So what will happen? Memory can be lost, right? Whenever you created, see, but methods it was not like that. If you create only one object, with respect to that object, you can call n number of methods. Clear? Correct? See, if you are having 10 methods, you are creating 10 objects or only one object? Guys, please answer. If you are having 10 methods, so how many objects you are creating to call that methods?
One
One
object.
object.
Only one object. Okay. 10 na? Who is that guy?
One,
Only
one
one,
well.
only one object is enough in order to call n number of methods. But if you call n number of constructors, then how many objects you have to create? Multiple objects we have to create. So what happen when you create multiple objects? For each and every object, memory can be allocated in the heap area. Clear? Clear? So to avoid this one, they have introduced a concept called as this operator. They have created a concept called as this operator. What is meant by this? This will holds the current object. Current object. Whatever the object you are calling, that object, what is the current object? Which object is calling now? Okay, what is the state of an object? That object can be specified by using the this operator. Okay, so how to call this operator? Just like this and then brackets, that's it. If you want to call this operator, that is the syntax. Now how to call in this program? What I told you, this operator they have created in order to call the multiple constructors without creating an object. So how to call then? So you can call by using this one. So this is a I'm commenting. Okay. If I run this one, what will happen? Only the default constructor. One second. Okay, so only default constructor it was called. If I want to call a constructor with one parameter, what to do? Then you have to call which constructor you have called now. You have called the default constructor, right? So whenever you call the default constructor, then call the this operator here like this. This of which constructor you want to call? If you want to call this one, then call 10. That's it. So what it will do? It will execute the this constructor. See, I am calling. See, you got right? The value of A is 10 in default constructor. Anybody is getting any doubt? Anybody is getting doubt? Guys, you should speak out.
Yes, ma'am.
What
Yes, we can take in that as a default constructor, right? Then how can we take it pass parameter in that while using this?
what I said now. So if we want to call the multiple constructors without creating object, we can call it this. This is nothing but a constructor only. It is the replica of a constructor. It will maintain the state of an object. Okay. But whenever you want to call multiple constructors without creating an object, we can call first you have to call one constructor, either default constructor as parameterized constructor you have to call. Inside that one you have to call the this. For example, if you want to call this constructor, pass one parameter. If you want to call this constructor, then without creating an object, pass two parameters here. So it will call this one, it won't call this one.
Okay.
See, got it? Okay, then you by seeing this output you should get a doubt like, madam, First of all, we have created one constructor. So inside that this constructor, default constructor. So inside that one, we are calling this operator. So here we are getting first this one is executing this 10 comma 20. This is going to this constructor and it was executing this one. Then coming back to wherever it was called. Then after the next line, seventh line, it was executing. Why it was doing like this? Why can't we give this operator in the like this? Why can't we give? If you give like that, it won't allow, because always the this operator must be the first statement. First statement. You should call it as a first statement. Okay. See the error. Constructor call must be the first statement inside a constructor. What I told her, this is nothing but a constructor, right? See, this is also telling constructor call must be the first statements inside a constructor. Inside a constructor, if you calling another constructor, that also should be a first statement. It was telling like that. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So for example, I will call like this. For example, I will comment this one, and I will call a constructor with first parameter. Okay. So here I want to call which constructor now it will execute. I was creating an object to the constructor with only one parameter. Which constructor it will execute? Constructor with only one parameter I have passed 10. So which constructor it will execute now? There is no this operator, just a direct call I am doing. Which constructor it will execute? It will execute this one. Ma, everybody are sleeping, ah? Or this is the lunchtime, you are hungry? Why no one is answering? This is simple question. I am passing 10 and I am asking 3 to 4 times which constructor it was executing. Why can't you answer? Which constructor it will execute?
Single parameter.
A constructor with one parameter it will execute. What is the output now?
10.
10. The value of A is 10. It will display like that. Okay. Now I want to call this constructor. I want to call this constructor. Where I have to give this operator now? Tell the line number.
Default parameter.
I want to call
Line
the
number
default
10.
parameter. See,
No,
Line number
ma'am.
10.
Two values.
I don't want to create any object. I created object to constructor with one parameter. Then I want to call this also. Constructor with two parameters also I want to call without creating object. Then what to do now?
In 10th line, we have to give this out.
Very
This
good.
op-
In 10th line, we have to give this. What to give inside this? Like this, it's okay, huh?
No,
No, we have to
parameter.
give A value
You
and
have
B
to
value.
give the parameters for A and B. 5 comma 6. Very good. So what happen if we give this in the 12th line? What will happen if I give this in the 12th line?
It gives error.
Why?
It gives error
Why? What is the reason?
because we have to call the constructor at first statement only.
The first statement only. This is also nothing but a constructor. It is
Yeah.
used to save the state of an object, like what is the values, whatever we are passing, like that. Now it will call to here. Now in this constructor, it will, whenever it was called in the 10th line, it will come to this constructor. Now from this constructor, I want to call this one, 5th line constructor. Here what to give? Whenever the 10th line was executed, it will come to the 13th line, because a constructor with two parameters, it will execute. Now from this constructor, I want to call constructor with no parameter. What to write here?
This
Just this. Very good. Just this. Okay. Now whenever it was come here, now it will execute this one. It will go to this constructor. Now from here, I want to call this one, this constructor. What to write?
We have to first string value from b value
This of you should pass one
string
string value, one
and b value.
integer
B
value.
value.
Very good. Very good. Now tell me what is the output. Now tell me what is the output. You should tell the order of the output. First 25th line executed. Where it will go. Where it will go. Speak out.
First one, fifth line
Fifth
is
line it will
hello
go. Huh?
No, the addition.
six.
Tell the line number.
Line number 15.
11.
Why 15 guys? What I am passing? Which object I have created? I created an object to constructor with only one parameter. Where
One
it will
parameter.
go?
First one.
I will kill you if you tell first line.
Ninth line, ma'am.
11th,
Go
ma'am.
to the ninth line. It will go to the ninth line.
Ninth
Then what is the next statement in the ninth line? After ninth line.
After
It will go to the ninth line. After ninth line, what is the next statement?
this ma'am.
This of 5 comma 6, where it will go?
13th.
It go to 30th.
The 13th line. From
13th
13th line,
line.
where it will
15th
go?
line will go
Fifth line.
for fifth
The
line.
fifth line. Very good. From the fifth line, where it will go?
17th line.
Very good.
17th line.
17th line. Now tell me the output. First, what it will print?
First 10
The
ma'am.
value of A is 5.
5.
The result is? The result is hello 5. Then what is? Then
Hello
after
from
that?
5.
After that, what is the output? After that, what is the output? See, the result is hello 5. Then it will display in default constructor. Then it will go to the add is 1 second. The add is what you are
5
passing?
plus
11.
7.
Then
5
it will print this one. The value of A is 10 like that. See. Clear, everybody? Cyclic. This
Yes,
is
ma'am.
called as constructor with cyclic dependency. Okay. One constructor inside another constructor we are calling. Okay. Okay. Now for example, in this constructor with 2 parameter, if I am calling again this, what will happen? It will go to here. From here again we are calling. This is called as infinity loop. Infinity. No, there is no break here. So while using the this operator, you have to be very, very conscious. Like in any one of the constructor, you have to break it. Okay. Okay, clear, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is about today's class. Please, constructors are over. Okay.